Hey guys, I'm Shannon Luca and I'm coming to you today from Duncan, where Cody and I have brought our daughter Lily to social distance with my parents today. As much of you are probably social distancing as well, I just want to encourage you today with some of God's truth. And I'm so excited to break down Psalms chapter 33. Now, I'm not going to be reading the whole chapter because we don't have time for that, but I would really encourage you to go and spend time really reading and looking at Psalms chapter 33 because unlike us here, you and me, you have all the free time in your own time to go and read Psalms 33 because you are social distancing as well. So, I really encourage you to do that in your own time. So, the first thing I want to look at is verse 4, and this is what it says. It says, "For the word of the Lord is right and true. He is faithful in all he does." And the thing that we can draw from that is that God's word is truth. And when you have lies coming in from the enemy, the way that we fight against those lies is by knowing God's word, by knowing his truth. So I would really encourage you to be spending time in God's word while you are social distancing. I mean, you have nothing else to do. So you might as well see what God has to say and combat the things like fear and anxiety or just whatever gets going on in your life when a lie pops into your head. Man, filter that through God's word and know what is true and what is right. Okay? The next chunk of verses that I want to look at are verses 6 through 11. I'm not going to read those, but I want you to see that in those verses, we see that God has authority over all things. These are just some like bullet points of what you can find in verses 6 through 11. It says, "By his word the heavens were made. By his breath he made the stars in the sky. By his words he spoke and the waters obey him." Right? By his words he spoke and all things came to be. He commanded and it is so, right? And so we see that God has authority over every single thing in this life, in this earth. And there is nothing that he is not in control in. And so when we look around at our world right now, it's a tad crazy, right? But man, we have peace and we have comfort in knowing that God is in control of even something as messed up as this virus. It doesn't even have to be the virus. I want to encourage you in knowing that whatever you're going through, whether you're a senior and you don't know what graduation is going to look like for you, maybe you're in nursing school and like, how do you do that when it's online? You know, just all of the things that, all of the questions that you have in your life. Maybe your parents are struggling and it's been happening long before the coronavirus. Whatever has been going on in your life, know that God is in control and he has the authority over all of the things. You don't. And so there should be comfort in knowing that. The next chunk of verses that I want us to look at is verses 13 through 15. And this is what those verses say. It says, "From heaven the Lord looks down and sees all mankind. From his dwelling place he watches all who live on earth. He who forms the hearts of all, who considers everything they do." Man, these verses are incredibly comforting to me because in moments when we feel like, man, God just does not see me. Where is he? Does he even know what I'm going through? The answer is right here for us. He tells us he sees all of mankind. He knows our hearts. He formed them. He sees everything that we do. And so I want to speak this into you straight from truth. You are not forgotten, that you are valuable, that you have worth in this life. And so if you don't know, Romans 12:2 tells us that God has a plan and a purpose for you. And so my encouraging word for you from these verses are that know that you have value and that God sees you in the midst of all of the weirdness, all of the weird, sad things that might be going on. He sees you. Okay? And so the next part that I want us to look at, and it is the most beautiful part of this passage. I love it so much. It's verses 18 through 22. And this is what they say. Man, it's so good. Just listen. It says, "But the eyes of the Lord are on those who fear him, on those whose hope is in his unfailing love, to deliver them from death and keep them alive in famine. We wait in hope for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. May your unfailing love rest upon us, O Lord, even as we put our hope in you. So, my question to you is, do you trust the Lord? Like in times when we see so many people dying and just we don't know what is going to happen, do you trust the Lord? Do you still have hope? Do you rejoice and have joy and peace inside of you because of who Jesus is, because of what God has done for you in sending his son? And so I just want to, I want us to see a couple of things that these verses tell us in describing who God is. It says, God is our protector. God is our deliverer. He is our help and our shield. He sees us. He knows our hearts. He knows your fears. He knows your anxieties. It is no surprise to him. And so the love of Christ is unfailing. It is. It truly is. It's a promise. And we can rest in who Christ is, and we can rest in what he has done for us. And so I don't know where you are today, but I want to encourage you with these words that God sees you, that you are not forgotten, that you have value and purpose in the midst of social distancing, right? And so I want you to feel like you can open God's word and know his truth and know what it says and know that it is his authority that has you in his hands, and that he has you right where he wants you. And so I hope that that encourages you. I hope that you are able to spend some time reading in Psalms 33. It has been something that I have prayed over my marriage. It has been something that I have prayed over our daughter Lily when we thought that, she had a tumor. And so it is something that has been speaking to me through all of my insecurities, through just really difficult moments. And so wherever you are today, whether you are struggling with how things are going in the world, whether you are just naive to it and oblivious and just doing your own thing, wherever you find yourself today, I really hope that you can spend time reading God's word and be refreshed and renewed by his truth. Hope to see you guys in person soon. If not, then I'll be seeing you on here for sure. Have a great day.